Are you struggling with a hand or wrist injury but still want to stay active? In this video, I've got 3 tips to keep you moving after a hand, a wrist, or an arm injury. We're talking cardio, strength, and flexibility, all without straining your healing arm. Injuries happen, but they don't have to throw your fitness journey off track completely. You can still keep physically active to fend off those pesky post-injury pounds. Plus, it's a good old boost for your mental well-being too. Real quick, if you're sporting a cast or a splint, or you've had surgery or a fracture, it is necessary for you to consult with your doctor before diving into any kind of workout routine. This keeps you safely moving forward in your recovery. First up, let's take a look at how you can get a little cardiovascular fitness in with my tip number 1, and that's stationary biking. I'm all about getting outside and in nature, but if an impact on the hard pavement hurts your wrist, or if the weather is too cold and snowy and maybe a slip on the ice is actually how your injury happened in the first place, or it's just too dang hot, then an indoor stationary bike could become your new workout partner. A stationary bike is a game changer for anyone needing a low impact workout solution, because even with an arm cast or a splint, you can still get a good workout without applying pressure to your hand. In fact, applying too much pressure into your handlebars when you're riding a bike can compress your median and your ulnar nerves, which can lead to pain and numbness and tingling. But being able to pedal away without worrying about aggravating your hand or your wrist makes it a safe and more predictable alternative to riding on a road or trail. And you don't need to worry about a mailbox running out in front of you. That actually happens more than you know. And here's an example of a short cardio workout you can do on a stationary bike that's easy on your wrists and your hands. First, just start with a 5-minute easy pace ride at a low resistance level to warm up. But more importantly, this helps you find your balance and your rhythm. Then you can get your heart rate going by starting 1-minute intervals. To do that, you want to alternate between 1 minute of moderate intensity riding by increasing your resistance level or maybe increasing your speed. Then follow 1 minute at an easier paced ride. And you want to repeat the cycle for 10 to 15 minutes. 1 minute, increased resistance, increased speed, and then 1 minute at an easier pace. And you want to repeat that cycle for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, if you want more of a challenge and you feel safe, you could even alternate 1 minute sitting and 1 minute standing. Then you would just want to finish a 5-minute easy pace ride at a low resistance level to gradually lower your heart rate and cool down your muscles. Now, as you get more comfortable or as your hand or your wrist heals, a bike can be a great way to gradually increase the amount of pressure that you're putting on your wrists and your hands. Now, luckily, there are many great bikes to choose from Peloton, NordicTrack, Schwinn, SoulCycle, to the bike I have here, which is the Yesol G1 Screen Indoor Bike. This one is a great bang for your buck and does not require a subscription like some of the others that I've mentioned. Now, it has a lot of great features that other bikes don't have, such as a large screen to view all the YouTube videos or Netflix movies you could possibly want. That can help take your mind off of your workouts. You can even cast with Wi-Fi or expand your workout options from a range of apps from your phone. And this particular screen turns 360 degrees, so you could use it for your other workouts. Plus, you can listen to your favorite YouTuber as loud as you want with the 4-speaker system and 2 subwoofers. And for a limited time, Yesol will give you $100 off your purchase. I'll put a link in the description box below. Now, one last thing real quick, if you are purchasing a bike and you are injured, make sure you have help to assemble it or hire a company to do it for you, because it will be impossible to put together one-handed. Now let's take a look at how to keep fit after a hand or wrist injury with tip number 2, and that's strengthening exercises. Having a hand or wrist injury does not mean you have to watch your muscles waste away. Your focus may just shift to more lower body strengthening like squats or lunges, but making sure that you hold your weights with your uninjured side. However, there are still ways that you can work your upper body, but this does greatly depend on your injury. For example, you don't want to hold weights or pull resistance bands with your fingers or your thumb if you have a broken wrist. This could really impair your healing, leaving you with more time in your cast. And because there are so many different injuries and scenarios, it's impossible for me to review everything. So again, always ask your doctor about what you can do and can't do. However, there are a lot of creative ways that you can use resistance bands without using your fingers, or you can be doing isometrics to your shoulder to help maintain your strength without putting any increased strain on your hand and your wrist. Now, if you don't have a fracture, but you are struggling with some wrist pain or tendonitis, there are numerous wrist and hand-friendly workouts that do not require doing any kind of push-ups or bearing weight into your wrists. One exercise to try is side-lying abduction with a weight or a TheraBand. To do this exercise, you want to lay down on your side and turn your hand in a thumbs up position with your hand down by your hip. Then you want to raise your hand overhead in a slow and controlled motion. Then you want to go ahead and lower it back down to your hip. You would want to repeat about 10 repetitions, and you can do 2 to 3 sets. And then you would want to repeat that on your other side. Resistance bands also offer an effective and a dynamic way to strengthen your arms, your shoulders, and your back. You can tie a loop and wrap it around your wrist and your forearm so that you don't have to grab onto it. Now, if you're looking for more wrist-friendly shoulder and arm strengthening exercises, then check out my video here. And finally, staying fit isn't just about cardio and strength, but also flexibility. And that takes me to tip number 3, and that's yoga or stretching. After hurting your hand or your wrist, you probably can't wait to get back to yoga or stretching because of how stiff that you might feel. The good news is you can continue to maintain your flexibility, at least of your uninjured body parts. You can even do a little bit to maybe that injured side, but more than likely it needs to be modified, and it probably looks a little bit different than before your injury. And yoga is a great way to do that. Yoga is not just about handstands or pushing yourself to extreme ranges of motion. And you don't have to put any pressure into your hands to do yoga. There are so many variations and poses. You can find a practice that fits you and your current abilities. That's the beauty of yoga. But even if you're not interested in yoga, a stretching program is another way to help you stay fit and free from stiffness after an arm injury. One way to stretch is the standing side bend stretch, and there are several variations to do this exercise. To do this, you want to stand with your feet together. Inhale, reach both hands up to the air. Clasp your hands together only if you can. Exhale, bend to the right. Come back to the center, inhale. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhaling again, back to center. Now, if you've injured your shoulder and you can't reach up into the air, you can just leave your arms down by your side and take an inhale. And then you can exhale, bend to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale, back to center. Or you can even place one hand on your stomach and one hand behind your head. And you can inhale in the center and exhale to the right and to the left. And you can repeat any of those variations about 3 to 5 repetitions. You can even do floor routines that do not require you to bear weight into your wrists. You could do a modified child's pose where you rest your arms by your side, or you can simply roll over on your back and work on shoulder and arm range of motion. It's all about discovering movements that feel good and supportive of your healing. As you can see, with the right exercises and modifications, you can continue to work on your cardiovascular health, your strength, and your flexibility. But more importantly, your mental well-being also benefits too. If you found this video helpful, do please give it a like and hit that subscribe button below. And if you're looking for more exercise videos, then check these out here. Until next time, thanks for watching.